Thank you very much for clarifying that board rejigging to us and also explaining some of the latest moves in business. We'll shift focus and bring you the stock, Allied Digital. It's an IT infrastructure management and technical support outsourcing company. The stock's up 2% today and 15% over the week. Q4 numbers are out. Net sales are up about 8.2% at 193 crore. Profit after tax is up 14.3% and EBITDA margins are steady at 20%. Nitin Shah, CMD of Allied Digital Services, now joins us. Nitin, thank you very much for joining in. Let me run through the headline numbers first and find out where the growth's come from. Have you added new clients and new orders?
Yeah, of course, we have added new clients both in domestic place as well as international space too. And also we have improved upon our EBITDA margin also on that.
Haven't your margins more or less remained steady, sir? In fact, we were wondering what the reason for that is and if there's a possibility of an improvement in margins?
No, we have actually improved the margin because we have not been focusing on the top line, and if you really see the bottom line, we have grown almost by 38% and the top line we have grown by 26% on yearly basis. Our yearly 2010 total revenue is about 698 crore and we have generated profit of about 106 crore. Now what I'm trying to say that in that we have actually got the EBITDA percentage to 21.3, which was last year in this quarter was about 17.7. So it's almost about the boostage of about 360 basis point on EBITDA margin percentage.
Going forward though, in the current quarter, which is April to June, are you expecting this to be a little bit under pressure on further wage revisions or hikes which the industry is just facing and is inevitable?
If you really see, last year was the most challenging year, and as you might have seen that it was just in last March it was all about recession, and with even in spite of that we could bring that kind of a growth of about 26% top line has been quite quite good about it. But if you really look upon going ahead, I think that we could see a lot of improvement taking place in the American market, and I also see that a lot of traction taking place in Indian market too. So going ahead to generate this kind of profitability of the margin, I don't see much of a problem.
So just also give us a sense of the two basic segment, solutions and infrastructure management. How over the year the contribution of those two segments is going to shape up, and which ones are you seeing more growth in? What would be the sort of segment growth numbers that you'd like to put out for the year ahead?
Certainly, our IT services business is it's a profit-making business. It generates a relatively much better profit than IT solutions, and the entire focus is in terms of increasing the revenues on IT services. And IT solutions, of course, it helps us in acquiring a lot of large customers. So if you had seen the total mix, we have been able to generate in this quarter about 56% of the business came from IT services and 44% came from the solution. But overall in the entire year, you could see that about the ratio is 55% on services and 45% on solution, and that's a high growth business, IT services, and high margin business.
Even final question, cloud computing, how's that panned out in terms of bringing in revenues to you?
Say again, can you say again?
Cloud computing, what's been the revenue contribution?
Computing is the new initiative. You can't separate it out because a lot of activity that we have been doing out here from India in terms of managed security services is a part of the cloud computing. Per se cloud computing, then it's all about software as a services, and we talk about platform as a services, and it's not that we have separated out those revenues, but that's something which we are betting a lot on that, and that's where we see a high growth business coming from.
All right, sir. Thanks so much for stopping by and giving us that quick thought on the earnings at 2.5% higher right now on Allied Digital. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Joined by the management of Saskin, Rajiv C. Modi, Chairman and CEO. The stock's been buzzing around. Let's find out what's happening there.